All right. Well, welcome everybody to the June meeting of the Woodside Fire Protection District. Appreciate you all spending the time and making the time to be with us tonight. We have a few different topics, but before I get to it, let me ask if there are any members of the general public that are here to make a comment on a topic that is not on the agenda. If you are, please let us know. There are no members of the public that wish to make a comment, so we're going to move to the first item. The first item is going to be a public hearing that we will conduct on the status of vacant positions and recruitment and retention efforts as required by AB 2561 and we will consider providing direction to staff. So I will open up the session. I will say that this has not been a popular public comment session in the past, but let me ask, is there anyone here from the public that wishes to make comments about this topic before we move on it? This continues to be less than popular as we have no open positions, I understand, but I know that this is a well-intended regulation in the state of California to make sure that we are daylighting and making public our plans to retain and recruit the open positions and do it in a public way. It does so happen that this year there are no positions open. I don't know if John or Ruben has guided us in what the required elements are of the presentations, but
Yeah, so
if you guys want to get moving.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a little background here. So I printed this out for you. On the top is the background on AB 2561. Attached, obviously, you will see the all of our job vacancies and what we have. There's also one for the District 9 Local 2400, as well as our chief officers group and the unrepresented miscellaneous. So what I'll do is just kind of go over it. This is a bill that was approved on September 22nd, 2024, and added to the California Government Code. And the new law that went into effect January 1st, 2025, states that every year prior to the end of our finalization of our budget, that we present this in a public forum, which is what we're doing right now. We go over those positions that we have and any vacancies that are there, and then we allow time for either public comment and or the comments and or presentation of each of the groups. It's been made known to me that there's no presentations from any of those three groups today that they would like to speak, obviously because we have 0 vacant positions. So you can kind of just browse through those at your leisure and see what we have. This year, we did conduct some recruitments. We conducted recruitment for firefighter and firefighter paramedic. We recruited defensible space inspector and a fuel mitigation specialist. So as of now, we are fully rostered, and in our suppression side, we're +1 staffing as well. So the vacancies are not there right now. What we are trying to do is obviously keep our staffing at a level like this, like we are now. We are trying to, on the suppression side, obviously fill those positions to reduce the amount of overtime liabilities that we have. And so that's where we are right now.
It also seems like part of the spirit of the thing is to talk about retention, and I'll just note that we're working hard on retention as evidenced by the last contract cycle and doing our work to better understand the pension obligations and the post-retirement obligations as a board. Make sure we can continue to retain people by offering excellent benefits and competitive pay. Make sure we're neither underpaying or overpaying, but paying what we need. And I think that's all an important, discipline and process to retain the best employees and take care of them. So it seems like that's part of the spirit of what we're supposed to do. We have no actual positions to talk about. I'd say that.
No, absolutely.
So is there more we need to do in the vein? I will ask again, if any member of the public has materialized and wishes to make a comment, we'd love to hear it. But there is none. I know how much the community values the consistent and, group we've had and the lack of turnover and the fact that we can have people that know the roads, the people and the vegetation. So
we're very fortunate with that.
Yeah, I totally get what the time slot is supposed to do, but we should probably spend it on the budget. Given that, absolutely. I will move to the next topic, which actually is the consent agenda. And I assume we've all had a chance to go through all that. If anyone's got issues or questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The consent agenda is approved. That will bring us to the regular agenda business items. And the main item for the day, the most important obviously, is the preliminary budget, always an important element of us for the year. And before we start that, let me ask if any member of the public wishes to make any comment about the discussions around the preliminary budget. It does not look that way. I will introduce the topic. This is an discussion and approval of the Woodside Fire Protection District's preliminary budget for the fiscal year 26-27. We've all had a good chance to look through all the materials, and I'm sure we each have some observations or comments, and so as not to completely dominate, let me ask if you guys want to make any comments or questions.
I had a few questions.
Please.
On the legal notice, that there was, the big spike there. What's the relationship at a cost per voter, as a metric? Why are we focused on that? Is that just how gets charged to us, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how
that's
it's
yeah.
It's
Elections
one
office.
opening position, so based on the past, how many voter could be, so I was told by the county, I don't know, I forgot about department. So he told me it's about $3.22 per vote, per voter.
Okay,
And the
So
district is.
we estimate about 4,000 or 30,000
To pay that.
voters.
I thought it was excessive, and then I don't want to cause that since I'm the one up for election, then I realized the postage alone to send the election ballots out to what I think is like 20,000. Well, it's 20,000 residents, so I guess it's like 20,000 voters, so it's like a lot of postage, I think is all it is.
yeah.
I was originally thinking they were making a lot of money at the elections office, but then I realized it's like a lot of postage, so anyway. Sorry to cost that money, but they want an
No,
election every 4
That's
years.
just, it's part
But
of
yeah,
part of the process.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
And the district is bigger than you think it is in terms of people.
Yeah, and it's growing. Yeah, so it's.
yeah.
Woodside's not.
Yeah,
but the rest of
yeah.
it is.
And then it'll grow some more once they get that development over there.
Someday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the professional services, we had a legal item on the future contract, it was 100,000 that was reserving for the coming MOU. I thought we didn't have an MOU in this cycle, I thought we were on a 3-year cycle, and so we wouldn't necessarily have an MOU in this fiscal year.
so, yeah, we don't have an MOU in this one. What we are doing is we're budgeting and prepping for the process that is gonna be started early. And so it'll be started at the end of next year,
Okay,
the negotiation and MOU
We
review.
asked for that.
yeah,
So what my intent on that is to start that at the end of this next coming year, so that we have plenty of time to thoroughly go through the process and
okay, good.
don't get ourselves in a situation where we're rushed again.
Yeah, good, yeah, all right, good. I had one further question on the cash balance that we keep. We have a pretty substantial cash balance, is it, and my fund accounting is super old, like from way back in college, but is that literally a balance in cash that we hold as it would be on a balance sheet?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
And we're adding to it a fair amount typically in a usual year. So I would just ask the board whether there's, or for you, Eric, whether there's other remediation types of things we ought to consider that might be valuable for the community. If we're gonna add $5 million this year to a, $30 million cash balance, I'm asking the question whether maybe we ought to think about, whether there are remediation steps that we should be taking, in lieu of just putting the money in the bank.
Sure, I mean, I think that there's always things that we can look into doing for, the upcoming projects next door and things like to Station 7 and so forth. So yeah, I think that there's definitely some things that we can.
The general concept was we were gonna be building reserves to
Yeah.
build the admin station.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be like another.
That's why I think that ultimately
$30 million.
Okay.
So you're right, we should be, probably should be, and it was one of my questions. Cause the tower is kind of the beginning of the down over,
Yeah. Yeah.
into the knothole of this thing. Was like, we should come up soon with a plan for. We sort of all agreed that for a few years, we still haven't gotten back to the balances before we built the station,
Yeah.
we have a $10 million loan, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, whatever. We sort of said we'd wait a few years, build up some money into reserves before at least I was comfortable starting to
Yeah.
talk about building an admin building, which now that I've learned how fun to build buildings is. Is not.
Not fun.
It's neither fun nor fast.
Yeah.
So I was figuring that in my own head was gonna be another $10-20 million expense, so we ought to be, that's what I sort of thought we were building up, but we ought to talk about it more and formalize a plan more. And it's a question I'll have when it's my turn, just asking like, so we have money in here for a tower, is that part of a tower, or is we actually gonna start to build a tower? I think it is time for us to have a discussion, and maybe it's not like the full-blown drama queen discussion about that site, but a general discussion of like, we could imagine starting to build in 3 or 4 years, and what would it be? Because that took 10 years for
Yeah.
the station.
Yeah, I think ultimately that's kind of the goal, was
What
to try
is
to
it?
start kind of building those funds up so that we could start that project and look at.
But whatever it is, it's expensive as all hell. But I like your idea too. If there's other, you know, I still feel like we need to stick to what we said, which is we need to have our expenses and revenues kind of linked. We have been able to put, it was by design, we were gonna have a surplus when we decided to take the loan out instead of just spending the money.
Yep.
But we have to have a use for it, and we should be planning.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are starting the process of the demo and
Yeah.
going through that. And I think that maybe it'd be a good idea to possibly agendize that too, that topic. Moving forward on a regular basis.
Yeah.
For what we're doing.
So, I'm not even sure what the right answer is to how to plan that, but
Yeah.
at some level, some set of people here ought to be starting, and without us probably starting to think of them. Like, we don't want a Taj Mahal. We have a small lot that was conceived as an admin building. Let's not get crazy. Building anything here is insane, but let's go get what we need.
Yeah.
And the idea was that coupled with the station, it would last us, originally we thought 40 or 50 years.
Yes.
I don't think we want to go put residential in there. It's admin, but like, we really ought to start thinking about what the size of that thing needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's gonna be multifacets to it. There's gonna be the admin building, and then obviously a training
training
portion, and then
facility.
also the mitigation, area to house our mitigation crews and our growing,
So we kind of need
So,
a master,
yeah.
but I would say it should begin with some set of people thinking
Sure,
what the
absolutely.
building needs to be, because
Yeah.
really, these other things are great, we agree we want them,
Mhm.
but the building is what we need, so
Absolutely.
that. And there is gonna be a bunch of constraints what we're allowed to build on that site.
Yeah.
So it'll be more than we can save anyway, but
Yeah.
I do think that's the right answer, is to have a simpler answer to this question. I know we're only like 10% towards our goal of getting at least half the building amount before we start.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's gonna be. I have no idea.
It'll be high. I mean.
It'll be high, and I don't think we really, I shouldn't say it this way, but I wouldn't be supporting another loan at the interest rates that they currently are. We got really lucky with a really low interest rate, and we're now carrying it. The next one won't be so pretty.
Yeah.
So I was really thinking that we could actually save up the money over a few years to build throwing a number out, 10, 20 million dollar object.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we need to add more stuff, I mean, it can be it might take an extra year to do something, but if we have the master plan, we'll be able to deal with it. And I do think this is the right level for, let's hope it keeps working that way. Maybe it won't.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
We'll kind of need it to work that way to build a building.
We
Yeah.
started to put a reso on the training tower like 2 years ago, so this is our third year, put the 50,000 away, we designated like a reso account.
Okay, so we're not thinking.
Put in there.
Yeah, so the
we're tracking
demo,
that.
let's just hit this topic now, because it's on my list too. So the idea is that, like, this year we'll do the demo, and the money's in there for the demo,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think, kind of?
Yes.
We had a fun discussion about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Yeah, I think we're actively working on that. We're waiting on one more quote that's coming back. My intent was to scrape the lot, get it clean, so that you can kind of look at it with a clean slate, have some ideas start flowing and the layout start and start that process. I was trying to keep in mind, obviously, that the intent was to kind of save some money for a couple of years to get ourselves back up there.
Yep.
So that's kind of the intent of what we're aiming for.
And then, so the tower is where we've been contributing,
Yeah, we've already
putting
been
money in a piggy
contributing.
bank towards it. Do we have a ballpark what we think a tower costs? It's probably cost 20% more than when we started wanting a tower.
Yeah, I don't have exactly,
That's
but I don't want to give you something that's off, but
I-
I think we're on the right track right now with what we're resoing for it. And I think that we'd be, we just have to make that decision as whether that's our first step.
Right.
Or whether we want to try to go full on into the admin
Well, this is
first,
this is the
because,
trouble, like you guys have all had in your own homes,
Yeah.
you design a living room, you've got to sort of design it all together.
yes.
Or we're gonna have like, oh crap. we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
actually
this doesn't
build the
fit, this doesn't
building.
fit,
Beautiful
absolutely.
Tower though.
So I think that ultimately the design process will have to include all those steps, whether we have to do them all at the same time, it's gonna be.
They
totally
you don't,
different.
once you have the master plan, you can break it up.
I
but,
think
like,
for us being on a time somewhat constraint here with this, and as we're growing and moving and going forward, that, the admin building is probably the priority to get that going.
What's interesting is you don't need to actually design, you don't need to know the dimension, you need to know where you need to put the
Yeah.
admin building. What we learned with that one and a bunch of others is, God, each space is so sensitive based on what it's near. There may just be really stupid places to put that
Yeah.
tower that we won't really know until we try to put the admin building
Yeah.
somewhere. So even if you didn't know the square footage you need or the height.
Yeah.
If you could just pick a building envelope and get some architect to start helping you with the layout of that lot.
Sure.
I'd feel a lot better about the layout.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I'm sure you've thought about it for real. I never have, but like right away, you're thinking, well, you don't really want the tower up against Woodside Road, do you? You want it set back in there, but you may need your building set back to get the neighbors to agree. I have no clue.
And we've done some preliminary plans at the beginning, years ago, actually, kind of when the Station 7 project was going, of what, something might look like if we were able to get that property and so forth. So just building on that, I think is the first step. But I think ultimately a committee within our department to start, putting pen to paper and, what is it we're looking for? What is it we need? What are we probably gonna need in a few years? What, all that stuff, and start to get that.
And I don't know how formally we have been in the past, to be honest, but maybe we should just start having a formal 3117
Yeah.
reserve that we're putting,
I think, yeah, that's
We already put like $1 million, 24, 25 for building.
Yeah.
So then we
Yeah,
haven't put in more, but we did it. Tower, and then now, since every year we have some surplus, I think paying down some of the pension UAL, like unfunded liability, is also money.
So we're gonna learn about that next time, right?
Yeah,
So,
I will give you a detail, why we
Yeah.
put a 2 for. Last year, we paid off additional, distribution payments for they call ADP on the pension, like a most expensive, like a loan, all those UAL account for the pension is kind of a different, like a time of year amortization loans there sitting there. So I was learning, it's better to pay off those most expensive ones. So last year we paid down 240, put it one of the line item. Then this year I'm gonna pick another one, 250, and then try to pay them. Hopefully, I will see. I haven't get the report to see as of June 2025's number to see what's our like a UL number.
And we're gonna have a session on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll understand better after that, I guess. But yes, I'm sure that there are many reasons it would be smart to pay down this liability further. We just don't understand them yet.
No.
Another use of cash. But I do like the idea of having a reserve for the extra lots.
I like your idea of having a segregated or identified account for that. It's a line item, it's not a literal account, but I think it'd be good to do that just for our own budgeting purposes. It's clear, and also for transparency for people looking at this, so that this is committed to this project.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
Exactly.
absolutely.
Carry on, sir.
So I think that was it.
Andy, do you want
No, I think I'm good. The election one caught me by surprise.
to? Yeah, so,
Do we even have an election and we're gonna
yeah,
get
I've gotta
charged?
go to Tower Road.
35,000,
My
Yeah,
turn.
so after July 1st, is it any time then that we can?
It's not actually, it's July 13th.
Was it?
I just looked at it in the candidate
I thought it was
filing period,
first.
July 13th.
Oh, okay.
Something happened. July 1st is you guys' deadline to notify them that you have an open position of
Okay.
mine, and that puts that in motion.
That's
That's tomorrow. I can't do anything till the 13th. It looks like, and that the filing is between the 13th and August 7th.
That's what, okay.
So I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I should be around most of the time, and I know the drill, and I don't plan to make it complicated. I've got a few that I wrote down, but I just want to say that, to me, the most important part is the bottom line here is our revenues are projected to be up about 6.1%, which is about, it's in the range of what we thought, it's a good year. And our overall expenses are up like 5%. So that makes me feel good that we're managing it in a reasonable way. And I would also just point out that the biggest impact items to us are all around district medical and district retirement, just like you said. I mean, the district medical is up $380,000, 13%. I'm not suggesting we're doing anything about it. Like, I think it's totally, it is what it is. It's just the scary part of running an enterprise in California. We can't really control that. The retirement stuff, also up 8%, and not surprisingly so. I would just remind everyone in the room, as we talked to, the last cycle, we really are, as we talk about this organization, we're an organization of both employees and ex-employees. As we look at this budget, a lot of this budget is appropriately going, and as I noticed, we're almost even. We have 56 retirees and 59 active employees that we're supporting for their healthcare, and that's good. It just, that number is always going to be a big part of our work. I was also going to give credit to Chief Zavala, who actually accomplished our one meaningful expense reduction in his renegotiation of the lease in this place, cutting off 45 grand. It's nice to see that sometimes the numbers can go down.
Yeah.
And I think we're being judicious on sometimes. Yeah, well, you did a good job with it.
Let's spend it somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Our landlords were not that easy to move into reality, so I think you did a good job with that. I just wanted to call it out. That was one number that was nice to see go down there. But, you know, the bottom line is, I think, while none of us was thrilled with what the compensation expenses will end up being, that is within our means to, you know, to make this work. I will also call that the insurance was more than I kind of thought it was at 240K. And again, it's no big deal. I haven't really looked into it. I'm not suggesting we have to do anything, but like, it's another meaningful line, and that's another one that you just sort of have to take, because insurance in California seems to go up 8-9%.
And the companies out there who provide insurance to fire departments
Aren't very big.
they're also very difficult to find. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
and there's
only one
There's only one right now that-
area, like a
Yeah.
BFI.
yeah, and so we, you know,
Do you think there'd be more? Like, how many times
Unfortunately,
do
we
the
don't
fire
have-
stations burn down, really?
Yeah.
Seriously, you seem like, I will underwrite these policies.
and so that's kind of a difficult line item, but.
Yeah, no. I'm not suggesting, I'm just sort of calling this
Yeah,
out
no,
for like,
yeah.
wow, as I played with the budget, I was sort of. Some numbers just sort of jump out, and so I thought I'd call it. I'm glad to hear we understand a bit about the tower, and. I'm glad we're putting money away. We should probably be formally putting more money away, but we don't have to do it at this moment in this process. We can always. As I understand, we can always allocate money into a reserve at any point, can we not? Or does it has to be part of the.
Has to be in the budget, but we have next month, next chance to, you know, this is preliminary budget.
Yeah, but
we
if we
can do
change it,
more.
we have to have another month extension of the process, I believe. Isn't that right?
I thought you can make
We
adjustments.
can make
Well,
adjustments,
the only adjustment I would suggest would be to consider, you know,
like a,
make sure we're getting what we need into the facilities next door.
Looks like John has some.
Yeah, please, John.
Yeah, no, you can amend your budget during this process.
It doesn't kick off another month to go, then have
No,
it wait
no,
out.
no.
Okay.
No, you
So
can.
we could suggest that
Yeah.
we could approve additional money into the construction.
Yeah, I
We
think
could
that
approve a
ultimately-
reserve.
Or if we want to just make a new line item for that for the 3117. I mean, we can just start putting that money that's been resoed and transfer that over and
I
start.
think it'd be good.
Adding
That'd
additional
be good
funds
to do too. I mean, do we want to go, you know, we have a bunch of general reserve, we're
about
projecting
20 something.
generally we're at 25
Yeah.
right now. We could, you know, we could carve off a couple $1 million and put it in there.
Yeah,
That's where it's gonna go, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, whether, I mean, yeah, I think it's a great idea to start.
And is that, just throw out a number, I mean.
Yeah.
That wasn't a particularly scientific number,
Well, we can look at that and present it and.
but I don't know if we have to do it at this moment. John, do we, if we're gonna make an adjustment, does that have to be at this moment, or can we do it at the end? Next
No.
time you approve it?
Yeah, you don't have to make it at this moment. This is your preliminary budget.
So you guys, we could approve it as part of the final budget approval,
Yeah.
putting a little more money into a reserve. Okay.
And I think with that, we should, you know, target, all right, how many years do we want to use to pay this? We gotta fully fund this.
Yeah.
And let's think about it that way.
Yeah.
As opposed to just.
We put in 2 million a year for another, God knows what fully funded, so.
Yeah, but at least have some idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly believe that is what we're saving up for. I think
Yeah.
it's more transparent and clear for the public and for ourselves to just name it. So let's agree, we're gonna have the reserve name, the, whatever you guys wanna name it, for the property next door.
Sounds good.
And I guess we would ask that you guys make a recommendation to put in some additional amount, throwing out 2 million as a
That's
straw
what
man.
Tracy and I will sit down.
You guys
and
sit
look at
down
it,
and
And then
just-
we'll.
Item A11, it is for the 3111 right now, because the last time when we finished the build, station A, station 7, all those, construction. So that line item, was zeroed out. So now it's.
So that one right there is, okay, so we can
Yeah.
just rename that. We don't have to say capital.
Yeah,
road.
no,
It's just-
just rename it.
name it,
And then we'll-
capital building reserve.
Yeah, and then we'll come up with the,
For the building.
Edmund
So that-
Reserve,
yeah.
or well,
we
it's really, it's for that whole site. So probably 3117.
So Tracy, and then you and I will sit down together and we'll think about
Yeah.
what a good amount to put in there to increase them.
The $1 million you put here in the AA11, the line item is 24-25 we put there. Last year we didn't do anything, and this year we said we put 100,000 for
For the town.
demo.
Yeah, well, let's
For the
put more in,
demo.
because you're gonna.
So the 50,000, the capital one is in the capital outlet. Reserve, I don't know why it's under there, but
What is in 8810, the capital outlay reserves? What is that?
it's all those, I have breakdown now, I'm tracking there year by year. I don't know that in the past because I wasn't in the budget, so that wasn't, now I'm using Excel tracking every,
But what is it, I mean, what is it for? What's it
I
reserved
think
for?
it's a power is
It's
there.
equipment kind of stuff?
No, equipment is all in the A six point two. I think the
Okay.
capital outlet is the one.
The tower.
Tower,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need
Well, we could-
separate ones?
We could
and also I
combine
think,
Yeah.
We can combine it, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Put them, yeah, figure out what you wanna do, but putting them together.
That's just $2 million right there.
the balance for before my time, I just don't know exactly what's in there.
But it's,
Yeah.
it's for building new stuff. It's
Yes.
what it's whatever was like the $10 we had left
Yeah,
over after
exactly.
we paid for the
Yeah.
gas station, and we left it alone.
Yeah.
Whatever, you guys figure it out, but
Okay.
I think the
Yeah.
important thing is the board is comfortable and
So we'll have,
desirous of starting the process of really reserving money for 3117, getting it moving with
I
a
think that's
master
great.
plan.
yeah,
Putting enough money in to go hire someone to do a very simplistic
Yeah.
master plan and not
How many square feet is this building? Do you recall?
this one, oh geez,
3,000? No, it's not that.
No.
no,
No, this building, I
is
think is that 27?
27, something like 20,
Okay.
It was an obvious.
Yeah.
Too small for what you want, right?
yes,
Think
yeah. I mean,
27.
If you double or?
Yeah, we'll have to look, we'll definitely need more offices, independent offices, bath facilities, kitchen facility, all that stuff.
You may want a basement
Meeting-
and storage.
Yeah, bigger.
Built that
meeting
giant
room,
basement, it's already full over there.
Yeah.
We got the Christmas tree now.
Absolutely.
Sorry, just a joke.
No,
Just
no,
a joke.
but yeah, I mean, we have to take a serious look at,
Yeah.
counting the offices.
It's time to
And then,
start.
and then obviously having, a couple offices that
Yeah.
are gonna be open,
Yeah.
that, we
Yeah.
can build, and grow with, so. But yeah, I think that's great, and I'm happy to hear that you're interested in doing that.
Yes, no, I think it's, we said we needed to lay off for a few years. It's been a few years. We're not ready to build, but. Look, we're not gonna, from the
It's-
time we start thinking we know what we're doing, we're not gonna build anything for 5 years, because it takes so long to do this stuff, it turns out. So, whatever.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. So that, I don't have anything else on the budget. I am happy to conclude the discussion unless you have more topics. Let me ask again, did any member of the public come that wishes to make a comment? No? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the preliminary budget 26-27 as distributed.
I'll move that we approve the preliminary budget.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 The preliminary budget is approved.
All right. We will have those adjustments by the next meeting.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, that will bring us to staff reports. Lots of activities. I was excited about the drill on Los Trancos. Everyone seems to think that was pretty good. And was also excited to see lots of people using our continuing education program and budget that we set aside to do that, which is great. I was surprised to hear we had an epinephrine shortage, not that I need any.
Yeah.
No, probably. The story in the EMS report about the auto versus bike was pretty exceptional. Everyone heard about, there was an
Was
event.
it in Ladera?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Our crews have had some pretty incredible calls as of recent and are just doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Some of these things that I think out that we just had another cardiac arrest.
Yeah, we had an arrest just yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
again, yeah.
crews did an incredible job on that.
Whole job. I think we had a defibrillation within a minute and a half of
Wow.
arrival. I think we had the gentleman in the back of the ambulance in 6.5 or 7 minutes. And they got pulses back and brought him down to Stanford. So I don't know the outcome, but
Throw a couple fires in there, it's been called.
Yeah.
It's been a
different first.
Yeah.
So that was great. On the prevention, I was excited to see the planned 9/11 complete PV evac. That community's been talking about doing it for years. It will be interesting to see what happens, and great for preparation, and that'll be. It'll
And
be
Kim, I
simple.
sent you a note on this. If you could include David and I in that evacuation drill, that would be really helpful for us.
Yeah, it's open to the residents,
Yeah.
just so you can participate and kind of see how it all
Yeah,
goes and everything, yeah.
Yeah, so we can get organized over there in Ladera.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
And of course, excited to see the Type 3 make its debut. It looks good in the pictures. All the other gear. We got lots of new stuff.
So the type 3 is, we're waiting on just one more thing. We've got it all outfitted and everything is all ready to roll. We did get our Tech 1 and so forth. I'll go roll
Yeah,
that in
okay.
there. Yeah, but it's exciting.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your work going into the reports.
Yeah.
So we can move to fire chief's report.
So I'll touch on that right now. So we have received and placed into service both our new Type 1 fire engine and our new battalion chief apparatus. So both of those are in service. Rob, you brought that one in, the new one, right?
Yeah.
You see it? Yeah, beautiful rig. Absolutely beautiful. I encourage you to take a look at it before you take off. It's.
I might have hit it coming.
Yeah.
It's
that chestnut that's on the hell right now. That's it. But no, it's an absolutely beautiful rig, and so much work goes into these processes with all of them, you know, with the engines and everything like that. So I'm very grateful to everybody for all their hard work of our members who made it happen. So we completed our recruitment for the upcoming year of our cadet program. So we had a total of 46 applications. We took 24 to the interviews and offered 7 positions. So their term is going to start shortly. We conducted the large South Zone wildland drill in the week of June 8th. This was an intensive drill focused on multiple aspects of scenario-based wildland firefighting. We had crews from Woodside, Rivet City, Menlo Park, CAL FIRE all participated. There were several scenarios that challenged the crews, and it was a great benefit to all who attended. I want to, especially thank Chief Hurd for his work on that, because that was quite an undertaking. So big lift for him.
Thanks, Marshall.
But I got great feedback from the neighboring fire chiefs and from people who participated. So and I think it was really well received, obviously,
Yeah.
by the citizens and people who lived up there as well.
It was Keenan Hurd.
Keenan,
Oh,
yeah,
of
Keenan,
course.
yep. On June 24th, we recognized several of our members at the annual, Elks Lodge Public Service Recognition Night. Our members, Captain Abbott, Captain Lima, Captain Akiyama, as well as firefighters Brandon Kisheri, Brendan Healy, and Zachary Lyson were all recognized for their life-saving efforts for the full arrest that occurred a while back at the Woodside Elementary School.
Mm.
So they received the Elk Award for that. And the patient of that is doing very well and is at home with his wife and son and recovering well.
That's great.
So, yeah, it was a great honor for them.
Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, it was great for us to be out there and recognize, that type of service. So Station 8 in Portola Valley just hosted the annual Safety Field Day last Friday. This is a great event where local community radio operators, as well as members of WPV CERT and Wildfire Preparedness Committee came together to train and share information. So I heard it was a good event, and we were happy to host them. And local update, Woodside Fire did respond and assist to the 2 alarm grass fire that took place on June 22nd. This was on Rasterdale Road in the preserve out there. Our crews did a great job. It was a very dynamic incident. The total size was just over 3.5 acres, and very aggressive firefighting from all that were involved, not only our district, but we had a good result as of that. So happy with that.
I was feeling with the winds that day.
They weren't that bad, which was
That's good.
very beneficial for
Yeah,
us.
wasn't it?
Not like today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we had the winds like earlier today, it could have been a very different situation.
What was the cause of the fire?
That's still under investigation. I don't know. I think that there's possibility of some youth in the area,
Possibly,
fireworks.
but it's not confirmed.
Okay.
So that more to follow on that. In terms of deployments, there are no current deployments. Promotional exams, we have announced promotional exams for both the position of fire captain and battalion chief. These went out last week, and the processes are slated for January and February of next year, respectively. So it's gonna be coming up. No retirements. And in terms of the state update, to date in 2026, there have been 2,813 wildfires in California, with 82,633 acres burned and 36 structures destroyed. So we are definitely in fire season.
Yeah.
And we are.
Did we get called on the marine fire up there on Skyline or not? Do you have a Honda?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, absolutely. So engine 19, rescue 7, engine 7, and Rob were on that fire.
Yeah.
So.
Good, question. Watch duty includes San Mateo County, but never seems to send any alerts out.
You
Reason
have
why?
to set it up.
Well, I'm subscribed to San Mateo County,
Right.
but maybe that one was Santa Clara County.
It
That
was
was Santa
Santa
Clara
Clara
Well,
County.
the
Yeah.
point being, like every day I get it for my ranch. I've set up El Dorado and San Mateo. I get them all the time for El Dorado's as Happy Fire. Which
Yeah.
is actually just under containment now.
Yeah,
But
technically that
I've
one
never
was.
once got one from
Yeah.
San Mateo County ever, even when we had the one here. So I just don't know if that really works.
Oh, interesting.
Remember the one on Edgewood?
Yeah.
I should have got that. It was never watched.
Most of us with Watch Duty, we've all been getting them.
Interesting.
Settings.
When was the last one when was the last one I should have gotten, put it that way?
The last one, let's see.
Should I have
That
gotten one for the
one was
Aristodero one?
Charleston,
Well, that
no,
only
that was
through-
Santa
yeah,
Cruz
Santa
County.
Clara.
Santa Clara Valley.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't know
Yeah,
if it goes
interesting,
out
okay.
everywhere. Also didn't get an SMC alert on it,
No,
but got
no,
one on like some El Camino thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
They did, I don't think San Mateo County sent an SMC alert out.
No, it was Santa Clara, I guess.
Santa Clara, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
they
so-
didn't send anything.
yeah.
Okay,
And that's it on that.
all right. Well, that is the conclusion of the chief's report. Do we have any written communications?
We have several. We have a card here thanking our crews from a bike accident. Happened this last month. That person accident or actually ended up rupturing their spleen,
Ooh, wow.
and they were very grateful for our services. And this is another one for a service call for a beeping smoke alarm that had been driving somebody crazy. And our crew came out and did a great job.
Full
And,
service
Yeah,
crew.
full service. All risk here.
Yeah.
This is actually from one of the homeowners and a member of the HOA board for the area where the drill was just conducted. And it's a great letter just thanking Woodside Fire and especially Chief Hurd for all his work on that drill and what they got out of it and so forth.
1:47 in the morning, beeping smoke alarm.
Yeah,
must
that'll
be-
drive you crazy.
Yeah, that's
That'll
a
drive you
husband and
crazy.
wife discussion.
Go get the ladder. I'm not getting
I'll get a golf club.
Yeah, exactly. Or shotgun, we just make sure this one works. This is another thanking Selena for coming to do the thinking like fire presentation in Ladera from a resident who was pleased with the outcome of that. And this is a phone message from a resident who was lives here in Portola Valley, was very happy about the efforts for Rosterdale and us assisting with putting out that fire.
Nice.
And then this one is several members from the Sequoias who were very pleased with the presentation that Selena and the Engine 8 crew went out there to do about how to keep the members there staying safe, teaching them what they can do to, with limited resources and to keep themselves safe, but how to report an emergency, how to respond in an emergency, so forth.
The idea behind what the Sequoias wanted for this, every year they do a presentation, and this one was called Ready and Able. The residents really wanted to know what can they do at their age, what they're capable, how they can help each other. So the title was Ready and Able, how to prepare for emergencies and what to do, and it was very well received, the residents. So we're working on actually building a senior program around it for our district and kind of pushing that messaging out because we do have a large senior population and it was so
More senior
successful,
every night.
very successful. So it was great because people were just concerned, like, I can't do a Heimlich on someone. What else can I do? Right? It's all those things. Like, what do I do in these situations? How can I help someone? Because I'm not capable of doing what most people can do. So it was a great presentation.
That's very good.
Yeah, it was
Very,
very well.
very high risk facility, as we all know.
Yes, yeah.
In the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
Funny story on the smoke alarm. I was at my dad's for his 92nd birthday on June 22nd when we had our event. And his birthday was kicked off with the carbon monoxide detectors. Repeatedly sending what I knew was a bad signal,
Oh, yeah.
but it wouldn't stop. And so I had the brilliant idea to change the batteries, but in the 30 seconds the batteries were out, it set some different kind of alarm to the fire department. And the next thing I know, there's big dudes with axes.
Yeah.
And my dad's girlfriend's on the phone from Europe saying, bar their door, don't let them in, it costs $1,000. And I said, I'm sorry, but if there's CO2, we need to know, and there's large men with axes.
Yeah.
They're already in the house, so let's just find out. So if I thought the way to start a 92-year-old's birthday.
Really putting his part to the test there.
No, it was just a bad sensor. Anyway.
It's funny, I don't know why those, they always seem to chirp in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
It's by design.
Never
Yeah,
during the day
definitely
when you have
people.
plenty of time to do it, or, you're not.
You have to
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
Well, there was no ballot referendum on should these things suddenly all fail automatically in 5 years, which isn't a bad idea, but nobody told anyone.
Yeah.
So all of us I'm sure you've all had the experience of going up looking for the batteries. There are no, you would know this, there are no batteries, what the heck?
Yeah.
But which one's chirping? Because it's like,
Right,
that
it's
one
fast.
sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
You're like, I just.
So you guys must come to houses where all of them are down, because we've all gone up there one by one.
You'd be amazed, some of these out there so high up there.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean,
That's why
it's
nobody can
so high up there, and you're just like.
Yeah, they had scaffolding when they
Yeah.
started.
It's like, how are we even gonna get up there? You gotta do a ladder drill just to get the thing going. And it's just, oh.
I've lived in a two-story garage where I keep my tractors and my Bobcat, and it's 17 feet up.
Oh, yeah.
And it won't let me arm my alarm, and I really did think about taking the 22 out.
Yeah.
It's gonna penetrate, so anyway, with that, I'm going to conclude the meeting of the Woodside Fire Protection District before we get into disabling firearms, because that's a bad idea
Yes,
for you at
yeah, we
home.
did not see.
These are trained professionals. I appreciate everyone's time. We do not have a closed session. And I'm going to officially adjourn our June meeting. We will be back in July to finish up the budget. Thank you for all for making time.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey,